With moving to Sweden, I'm a member of lots of Brits in Sweden type groups and expats in Sweden. And one thing you see all the time are people complaining that they're depressed, stressed, miserable and lonely. And I think what those guys seem to be generally doing is blaming Sweden for that, blaming their move to Sweden. And I have to say, in most cases, they are just wrong. And Sweden's not the cause of that. It's just life. Some days you wake up and it feels like Groundhog Day. Oh, another day. But that's not because of Sweden. And most of these people moaning probably had days exactly the same when they lived in England or Scotland or Ireland or Wales or wherever in the world that you come from. There's a train. And it's just convenient that it's very easy to blame a big life milestone such as a move to another country as the reason for that kind of loneliness and miserableness, etc. When actually, if you were back in your native country, you'd probably feel exactly the same at times. And whether it's family, friends, relationships, kids sometimes, although my kid's brilliant, all these things can get you down at times. And it's easy to blame a big change in life for that thing that gets you down. But actually, you know, as I said, we all have days like this. It's just life. And I think the primary thing to do is to do something about it. Don't expect life to just fix itself for you. Get out there and make friends. Talk to people if you're lonely. You know, it takes some guts for some people. I understand that. We're not all outgoing and chatty and never shut up like me. But just push yourself. If you are lonely, get out there and talk to people, make friends. When Swedes hear an English language or an English accent or a non-Swedish accent or dialect or lingo, generally you'll catch their attention even if you haven't noticed you've caught their attention. And it just takes a smile or a hello or a hey, and generally you can spark off a really good conversation with these people. And that's how I've made friends over here in Sweden. So when I do have those days, I've got somewhere to go and somewhere to chat to and places to have a beer. So I just wanted to say, I saw this constantly before my move to Sweden, and it got me thinking, God, is Sweden really that bloody depressing? But, you know, I've realised it's not. It's not Sweden that does this to you. You see people blaming, oh, the dark mornings, the dark nights. Wake up, that happens in pretty much every country. Maybe not quite to the extent of Sweden, but Sweden isn't as bad as some other countries further up north of the globe. So ultimately the moral of the story that I'm trying to tell here, but really babbling on and talking nonsense in some respects, is that we all have down days, we all have great days. It's very easy to say that the great days are because I now live in Sweden and the bad days are because I now live in Sweden, but actually bad days happen all the time. God, this place is a real building site at the moment. They're just landscaping all of this, and it's slowly coming together, but it's going to look really nice when it's all done. There's like a little pond bit down here. Anyway, if you're having one of those bad days today, it's Friday, and that's a good reason to smile, so chirp up. If you know somebody who is miserable or depressed or sad and living in Sweden, maybe share this video with them. Hopefully it won't depress them further, but it might make them think about why they're not happy, why they're not jumping around for joy. And maybe it'll inspire them to get out there, meet people, join a class, and just maybe when they're next feeling a bit lonely, maybe it'll give them some confidence to just go out and really push themselves to just say hello to a stranger and spark up some conversation. Anyway, I've got to go to work now, talking of Groundhog Day. Have a lovely weekend, folks.